All right, then. Thank you so much. As I said, my name is Samantha Biake, our CEO or Executive Director with Better Mind International Agency. We have 2 branches, one in Kampala, Uganda, and the other one in Akron, Ohio, US. So without taking minutes, I'm just going to give our minute to our face, Uganda face, to say a word, and then we shall proceed with our guests. Thank you, Judith. You have the platform.
Hello, everyone. How are you? You're welcome to this informative show, Untold Stories of Refugees. Yeah, sometimes we come not only to hear about the refugee life, but maybe to be guided or to learn or go out with a tip that can help us to move on with life. And today, what I have before I go far is let's not allow our past rule us. Yeah, let's not allow our past rule us. Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on the things we can still try to do, not on the things we can't change. Yeah. Better Mind is, as usual, Better Mind is an organization which gives psychosocial support to refugees so that they can be able to access basic needs or opportunities, so that they can be respected, they can observe human rights, they can be empowered and can move on with life. Generally, we want to make them feel at home, want them to feel like being a refugee is not a badge of denial or a badge of being isolated. They have to be involved. Yeah, they can't move alone. That's why we bring in different people who are non-refugees, different people who have love and passion for them, to see that many people think about them and they love them. Thank you very much, Samantha.
Thank you too. Thank you, Judith, for that message that you've given us, message of hope. Without taking a minute, we are going to be so conscious about time. Without taking a minute, allow us, am I having a call? Allow us to welcome, I'm having echo. Could you please mute your microphone? Okay, I'm sorry about that. I've been having echo. So I had to meet you all. As I said, without taking a minute, allow me to welcome our guest, Amwony Josephine, so that she can tell us who she is and also introduce herself to us. Amwony, you're most welcome to the platform.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Better Mind, for allowing me and giving me opportunity to really come and also be part of the movement and of the program. I would like to thank you, Samantha, Judith, and the team for Better Mind, both in Uganda and out of Uganda. I'm really excited. As she said, we always have only one.
Josephine, we can't hear you.
I'm by the name called Amwony Josephine. I'm a South Sudanese refugee for the last 26 years. For the little introduction, the intro, February 1994 is when my parents, when I was still a baby, my parents, because of the war, left South Sudan and entered into Uganda. northern part of Uganda, where we were received as a refugee. And from 1994 to 2002, we were at northern Uganda as a refugee. And from 2002, the camp was demolished because of LRM movement. If you hear the history of Uganda. So the Kony regime destroyed the camp, and the UNHCR again relocate the refugee who were in northern Uganda to western part of Uganda. And that is where we were shifted from Pade district to Hoima district. And by that time, Changwali refugee camp was a small camp for emergency refugee who were having critical issue on insecurity by that time. So from 2002 to current, that is where we live, and that is a home now. Thank you so much. Samantha, back to you.
Thank you so much, Josephine. Guys, just as a reminder, I would just want you, if on your side, to get a book and a pen, or you can usually use even your phone, because now phones are, the technology has gone ahead of us. Write something down, because you never know where this information will take you, or how best this information can be of help to you. Also, back to Judith, help me, and there are chats in the chat room. If I'm a little bit distracted, help me and answer them back. So as Josephine has just told us that she's a refugee from South Sudan, she's now in Uganda and she's seeking their refuge, or as Lama may say another way, life is not about I know what tomorrow holds for me. Life is all about, I mean, how can I phrase this? Life is a mystery. We don't know what tomorrow holds for us. So as I was saying, Josephine is a refugee. She's not a refugee because she chose to be a refugee, but life made her become a refugee. And always, as I usually say, being a refugee is not a barrier. Being a refugee is not an insult. Being a refugee is not a wound, but it's a treasure, or it's a pearl that we put on. So I just want to hear again back from Josephine. As this is a discussion, we want to hear you. We want to hear what challenges have you encountered being a refugee. Inform us, teach us. The platform is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Samantha. There are many information, and there are many misinformation out there about refugee that many people doesn't know, and most of all the host country. The host country sometimes is mad at us because they don't know who is a refugee. First of all, I would like to say a refugee is like any other human being who escaped, I say just escaped or flee for survival due to political, religious, or any danger that threats his or her life. And these people, you find their children unaccompanied minors that they just ran for survival. They don't have any parent, any relative, any attached person to them. They are literally alone. We have elderly people who ran without any family. We have single parent. We have children that are orphaned and they just ran like that. So you find that when they go to an area of survival, of safety, they are gathered and are called as a refugee. But these people came from different part of background. For me, being a refugee has really taught me a broader aspect of life. I call it an opportunity, because if I were not in that circumstance, I wouldn't become who am I now. I would have not explored life out of environment that I grew in. The challenge I face, the challenge refugee around the world face, one is lack of accessibility to better medications or better health response. As me, I find myself when I was young and during the time that I was between 12 and 14, I developed a complication. And the only better or health facility was, it was so limited that it cannot even serve the entire people. So being a refugee, I faced a challenge of better medical facility because I needed it so much, but there was no any mean that I can have access to. If I want to have access to it, it carry a lot of process for me to be referred from one place to another, and that need a coordination, and then needs me to be moved out of the camp, and this take like a month, 2 months, and this is the life that refugees go through. When their life, their health life is attacked and shattered, they cannot get a better health facility so quickly and reliable to them, and most of them lose their life and just like that. One thing that hinder me as a refugee is also freedom of movement. I'm limited. I've been caged in an environment where I cannot move above or beyond what is gazetted for me to live. I cannot live freely because I'm in danger. I'm in an area that even though I go out of the camp, I will always be afraid because I don't belong there. And I see everything is strange to me. So the environment shrinked me and really make life so difficult for opportunity and exposure, because you only live in confined environment that is only designed for you. Another thing is freedom to access to education. I tell you that for the entire life that I am in Chingwale, we have only one secondary school, and imagine how many students are in the camp. So getting a better education, accessibility to education is very limited. It has really hindered me very much in my academic journey. Why you find that the school that the UNHCR actors and implementers provide, you find is more of ECD, that is early childhood development, and primary level. But to the secondary level and to the higher institution is very limited. And most of refugee students and youth dismissed and drop up in that level because it require school fees, it require a lot of things for them to move out of the camp to access better education. And some of them give up on the way. Some of them go for early marriage. Some of them escaped from the camp to get better life, and they squander and shatter their life out there. And they have nowhere to go. And however much the implementers, the actors, the humanitarian actors, sometimes support refugee in education, but it's still very, very limited. It cannot cover everyone, every child out there. And this hinder me. I remember very well when I was going to primary level, I was studying under sunshine, under a tree, and imagine sunshine, rain come. You can't do anything more than that. Out of that, you always have challenge to get exposure and to learn in a safe environment. And sometimes when it rains, you cannot go to school. You just be home because the entire class is water. You just be home. So you wait when there is when there is a little bit of sunny and you go to school, because remember, you're going to sit down either on a tin or on a floor. So this affects the life of refugee, including me, because my education level was so hard that I had to develop a strategy to study. When I just developed a strategy to perform very well. Is not good enough, that it cannot cover everything. Either it covers school fees, the rest of the requirement, you are the one covering, and you need to move out of the camp. I remember the best place that I can hawk sugarcane was at the lakeside. Every Saturday and Sunday, I'm at the lakeside selling something so that I can cover up what I want to top up on the school bill. And also, another thing that I also face is an opportunity to work. Many of us has finished university. We are not given opportunity of employment as the host community. The only work you can do is a casual work, maybe a cleaner, a guard, a cook, and petty work, maybe like translations and others. You do a little work, and also when you're doing it, you cannot be paid as equally like other people, and this demoralize people. When the young people see us sit at home with our papers, they ask themselves, why do they go to school while even we who has papers, we don't work? Or else we resort to do the selling into the market. We go back to agriculture and farming. Obviously, it's not bad, but you have a paper, you have a degree paper, a diploma paper, a certificate paper, but you cannot be given opportunity to work and get an expertise in the line of your professionalism. Yeah, I think that briefly some of the challenge that I can put. Back to you, Samantha.
I've never been speechless in my entire time of hosting events, either being Zoom, Instagram, Facebook, or live. Guys, I just want to tell you something. Hearing from what Josephine just told us, hearing from previous people that we've hosted on the platform. Sometimes we look at life, the little food that we get, we minimize it. Or the little opportunity that we have, we minimize it and say, I wish I can get this. I just want to give you an example. There's a person who had a car and was wishing to get something bigger. But in the meantime, there's someone who has a bike, wish to get a car. There's one person who doesn't have even a bike or a car and is wishing to have a bike. Then there's another person who's lame, is disabled, is handicapped, wish he could have legs. What do I want to tell you in this extent? Let's always appreciate life with the little thing that we have. We've been living with refugees around. There are stories that I'm getting that me, myself, I didn't face, but I'm getting it from my fellow refugees. And it's still interpelling something to me, it's still telling me, it's still talking to me and telling me, Samantha, say thank you to God. Samantha, sit down and praise your God. Because we've heard from different people. We've heard from Josephine's experience. We've heard from Solomon, from Simon, from Alex, from Therese, from Bella, from Eldad. Guys, there's a lot of things that go on in our life, but we can't know, we can't tell, because not everything is written on the forehead. That's why I'm still calling you upon you to share this. Let people come and listen to this. Let people come and learn from this, especially the host community. We are more focusing on getting this message to the host community, because many times people face difficulties because they're not going through what we are going through. Josephine has just told us about different things, different challenges that they go through. So we want to hear from Josephine. We want to, it's not kind of asking, but we want to hear with you. We want to discuss with you. Could you tell us what are those activities that refugees do? I know you've mentioned some, but what are other activities that refugees do to raise meal? What are those activities that they do probably to keep them busy? And in those activities, what are those challenges they face while carrying out these activities?
Thank you so much still to Samantha. I would like that apart from just being that kind, facing that life as refugee, we as refugee as also come with mechanism of survival. I tell you, we are given food, shelter, and basic material that is only used for few months, for few weeks, and by the help of UNHCR, and that cut across, like they do health, education, protection, and food. There are many UNHCR actors and implementers around the camp, around the world that they do. But particularly, what does refugee do? Every day, what Josephine does for survival. One, we are allocated a plot of land that is 40 by 100 fidal for every refugee that comes in. But because the number of refugees has increasingly has doubled, you find that some of us are living in 20 by 40 fidal. And that small area, we use it for cultivation. We use it to cultivate and to top on what we have been given. Because if you have a household of 7 people and you're given maybe 2 sacks of maize, salt, cooking oil, and beans, this is not money. You still need soap, you still need paraffin to light, you still need shoes, clothes, or sandals, or cardigans to wear for coldness. You still need more things, girl child, pads, panties, a lot of things. So the community, what they do, they resort to farming. They farm, and a little part of the money they add onto basic needs that they need to. And also refugee, as a refugee youth, they came with many CBO organizations that help to provide education. Why? Because the education facility is limited. We talk about Cobrowas. I myself, in 2012, we came as a board with Planning for Tomorrow Youth Organization. I'm working as board. And we look at what can we do? We have many problems, but the priority is also education. What we does was to come with the community, build a school. I myself, Josephine, was a teacher, 2012, 2013. I was a teacher at ECD. I was managing 45 young kids. Basically, others were in kindergartens, nursery school. I could sleep with them, cook together with them, teach them, nurse them, until even HH came to take me for early childhood development education. Now, as I tell you, Planning for Tomorrow have more than 500 pupils up to P7. And if you see the result of this year is very excellent. Why? What do? We bring parents in. We have the facilities. We have our youth who has gone to school and they have come back like those of Silas. What can we do? We enroll them as teachers. And we tell parents, provide us 5 kilos of bean, 10 kilos of maize. We will store them. We'll give meal to these pupil, to these children. They will study from morning up to evening. They will go home. The little extra surplus that we get from this food, what are we going to do? We are going to sell to buy scholastic material and school maintenance, as we look for funding from UNHCR and other actors and well-wishers, as we advertise for this, so that they can come in and also keep hand. And this is what also Cobra start with. Cobra also did the same. They also look at where our kids are going, where are our young brothers and sisters. They have finished senior 4, they want to go for senior 5. There is no way, because window trust, you get a scholarship when you reach senior 6 and you go to the university. So what we does is Cobra has set a facility in town whereby the parent also contribute food material. They take initiative of maintaining the hostel. They take initiative of providing them basic materials and also giving them matrons to keep them at the school as these refugee students go to school. And also, not only that, as a refugee, what we do, also we talk with the host country, the host neighboring, the neighbors community that we have. We trade with them. We go for farming with them. We go for marketing and trading with them. And these people help us. And some of them are supportive. Like now, I'm supporting a Ayero Foundation. You find that Uganda itself are hosting refugee, but also part of the northern Uganda is also affected by the LRM regime, and they also need assistance. So part of the work that we do, we also introduce the entrepreneurship into agriculture. We form groups of women who do farming, agro businesses. We buy for them livestock, so that they can also have sustainable activity that can help them. The single mothers, we give for them, we train them on entrepreneurship, what they can do. Others are doing knitting work, others are doing, like those who come from South Sudan, they like making tablecloths. They make tablecloths, we provide them materials, and we market them, they sell them to the community themselves. They get money, we form them into group, we give them goals, we train them on how to open businesses, we train them on tailoring, what they can do. And this is the survival of what refugees are trying to adopt and trying to live in the environment, so that they can support their children in school. They can also have money that they can send their children outside the refugee camp to get better education. If we only depend on the UNHCR, we cannot do more things than that. Thank you, Samantha. Back to you, Samantha.
Thank you, Josephine, for that. Thank you for not just being seated at home and waiting for UNICEF to provide everything. Yeah, I know we're not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be there and wait for everything. Sometimes we also need to put in our effort so that you can be able to do something. And also see how best we can help fellow refugees, fellow community. You just heard that even Uganda itself, they have been affected by different rebel group movements. You may think that it's only Congolese, or it's only Sudanese, or it's only Somalian, Ethiopian, Burundian, South Sudanese, which other country have I forgotten? Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, the one affected. But once you hear from other people, you know that, oh, I may be also in a risk. So I need to do this. I need to look out for my friend. I need to look out for my colleague, my mother, my brother. Many of these refugees leave their home countries when they are whole family. And by the time they reach the refugee camp, it's only one person who managed to get there. Sometimes they leave the refugee, they are home fully as they are, the whole family, getting to the camp all together. If they were 10, they get there when they are 10. And after like few days, because of different challenges that they go through, the family goes on reducing, and this is the stress that they go through. By the time you lose your parents, by the time you lose your mother, you lose your brother in this type of life. So my prayer or my request to you is to always look out for each other. Like when you hear someone having a problem, look out and see how best can I help, or also get start initiative on how best we can help fellow refugees, how best we can help the host community understand and know what we are going through. We've just finished with our, yes.
I have a question for Josephine.
Yes, did it.
It might help another person on the platform. No matter what she went through, no matter the depression and all the hardships, she managed to move on. She managed to be positive. How did she handle the stigma, or how did she handle the depression, so that someone on this platform who is going through the same thing can be helped?
Oh, thank you, Judith. Thank you so much, Judith, for your question. Sorry, I wanted to come with my book to show to you. I am an author now. I'm writing different books, and mostly on area on inspiration and entrepreneurship and leadership. This is what I basically am stretching on. On my first book, it is in Uganda, in Kampala, Bugema, you can find it, and also on the site of Legacy inside Uganda. It is Overcoming the Shadow of Life. I thought about, for the 26 years, literally for 15 years, I've been hiding my identity because of stigmatizing. I did not know. I didn't really have somebody to tell me that, be it I'm a refugee, is not written on my face. Because every time I go for service, every time I'm seeking for help, I have been turned off, have been looked like I'm a second human being. I'm a second person. I'm not that first priority. And it hindered me to expose my identity, because every time we're seeking for support, there is no any person voicing for us. So I thought to myself, Josephine, what you're going to do is to rise up and do something better. I tell you, I started in Changwali Secondary School with football and netball. In senior 4, when I finished senior 4, I was invited in Chenjojo Secondary School for football and netball scholarship. I went there. And when I was in Chenjojo, I joined Fawe Uganda, who taught me to be who am I now. Because Fawe Uganda was teaching students to be peer educators on fistulas and adolescent sexual reproductive health. So I became part of the group. And when I became part of the group, I started opening up about what I went through and how the host community can also come through, because I met many young people who were my age mate. They were going through a lot, and it was even far worse my situation. So I said, now here I can use my voice. I became a peer educator. That's why when I came back to the camp, I started teaching people. I started doing counseling with people. I started forming group with people. A Rise Face initiative. I was having friends to career guidance. I could do for free. I could go to Changwali SS, get other members, do it for free. And that's why I volunteer to start teaching children with Planning for Tomorrow Youth Initiative. We form a group, we form a team. We have a space where refugee youth come for leisure, for playing football, netball, and volleyball. And after playing, we gather them together. We talk about what traumatized them, what situation they go through. They open up. Others were now going to drug addictions. Others were going to alcoholism. They came back to their senses, say, no, we can be together. We can do something good. We can go back to school. Planning for Tomorrow started paying children. Do you know what we do? We don't have money. We go as a group, like weekend, we go as a group. We hear somebody want his garden to be clear. We go as a group. We get 40,000. The next week we get 40,000. If we go like 4 times, we already have a school fees of 2 people. And we were paying orphan in Changwale SS. And this motivated me to open up. I told myself, refugee is not written on my face. I can do something. And that's why I said I cannot do more. Let me write a book whereby any refugee, any child out there, any host community that go through my book. If I have overcome for 26 years, what about you? What about you? And for this year, I've really got a very big feedback from my book, Overcoming Shadow of Life, Living Resilient Amid This Life Challenge. It has been the thing that motivated me out of my coming out, speaking out. It motivated me to touch many lives, and many people are really touched with what many refugees had worked out and now are teaching people in many areas of life, and it's of a greater impact. Many people read my book. Hey, Josephine, I didn't know that you are a refugee. Many of them even are sending back a feedback to me. You didn't live like a refugee. You didn't tell us that you were a refugee. I told them the refugee is not written on our face. This is the message we are giving to refugee children, refugee youth out there, that if you have passion, you have a dream, you can make it. And I love my quote in my second book, Elevate Your Mind, talk about that there is a hope beyond a breaking point. If you think that you have broken down today, look at somebody who is next door to you, eyeing at you, and feeling like he or she wants to be like you. And this is the gospel we are preaching to everyone, that you and me have an opportunity to change life out there, be it you are a refugee. If you have something to do out there, I know very well that some of us think that refugees are only for people. I tell you, there are other people in their home countries. They are IDPs, internal displaced people, either by disasters, either by natural disasters, either by intercommunal fight. They become refugees in their own country. They are shifted from one place to another. We see Bududa issues. People are shifted from one part of Uganda to another, and they are in a certain place, gazetted place. And this motivates me that if you are there, you are voice for the voiceless. You are voice for the disadvantaged. The moment you sit down, you keep quiet, you keep silent, you have already shattered many life out of you. Speak loud, support, embrace positivity, and encourage many others to get exposure out of the environment that they're living into negativity in. Thank you, Samantha and Judith, for the question.
Thank you very much, Josephine. That's so wonderful. I think most of members have copied a leaf. And by the way, it's good to share. It's not good to have a problem or be depressed and you're like, no, I will not share. How can I share to a fellow refugee? You never know. You never know that person you're failing to share with has an opportunity, has a connection to where you're going to get hope or help. So it's always good to share with that person, because even if you share with that person and you don't receive immediate help, at least you've healed your heart. Your heart is relieved. And the other thing is, as Samantha and Josephine have said, as we don't need to wait for UN or other organizations to come and give us help, we can do as a group, as groups, like as Josephine said. You gather a group, maybe you say, we shall go for farming. You come up with a group and you're like, why don't we start up a cleaning service? Because there are many people who have their clothes, they need their clothes to be washed. Maybe you go to a school and you're like, we are a group who can wash the clothes of the children, like those babies who can't wash for themselves and you give us some little money. You can say we are a group, we go to a hospital and we wash those garments for the sick people, or we do anything, or we do office cleaning or school cleaning. So that's because at least if someone sees that you have an initiative, which is positive, and you're refugees, you have an initiative, they'll be motivated. They'll be like, oh, maybe they can even give you another opportunity because you're determined. You've not sat down because you're refugees, you're calling yourselves vulnerable, but you've stood up, you've put aside whatever you are, and you've decided to look for a better life. So someone can be like, oh, these are good people. That's how people can see us and identify us and give us a hand. And the other thing is, the people we host on this platform, you can direct message that person. If you can't put it in the chat room, you can direct message that person, and you network and you connect. This is our 7th guest, but you sit down and ask yourself, since this program has started, have I benefited? How? If I've not yet benefited, how can I do? What can I do to benefit? You can direct message that person, you connect, and you never know how things can work out. And yeah, you get networking and all that stuff. Than keeping quiet. Anytime you don't socialize, you're missing out on something. Either people will say you're showing off, you are proud, and they will never know what you are going through, or they will never know what you want, because how can they even give you help when you're not associating with them? So it's always good. At least you say hello in the chat room, at least you introduce yourself so that people get to know you. Oh, Josephine always is here. Treasure is always here. They'll be like, okay, you never know where this just a hello or something like that can lead you to. Thank you very much. Back to you, Samantha.
Thank you so much, Judith, for that. And also want to say thank you so much to Josephine for the little, or I can't call it little, but for every meal that you've given us this evening. Just want to give it a minute to my co-host. As I told you earlier on, she had a network problem that really gave her a hard time. So Tatiana, you have a minute to introduce yourself and say hi to the people around us here today.
Hello everyone, I'm really sorry for coming late. It's like 45 minutes or 50 minutes late. I really apologize about that. I hope everyone is doing good. My name is Tatiana, but on the Zoom it says me. I apologize about that. I'm gonna try to change it. I just got here and I was in the middle of the conversation. I'm really lost. I don't know where you guys started and what we're talking about, or what's the experience that we got today. But I'm just gonna keep my ears open and try to catch up and see what I can contribute during the conversation. Well, it's good to have you all here, and let's keep going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. Back to Josephine. Thank you so much for every contribution that you've given us, for every lesson that you've made us learn today. And as usual, after our 45 minutes, we usually open the floor for people who are having questions, people are having, thoughts, people who have their views. We open the floor for people, and the floor is yours. So you can go ahead, raise your hand. We shall hear from you. If you have a question addressed to Josephine, she's there and she'll be able to answer them. So the floor is open. You can come in with your question. Just raise your hand and we shall pick you up. Yes, Tony.
Good evening, everyone, and good afternoon to those who are not in Africa. I'm Tony Mukebi, and I'm very happy to hear from Josephine. because her words were touching and they were moving. I liked the way she has been handling her life. She didn't let life push her down. She tried, she rose up out of the, through all those challenges she went through. So it's not a question, but it's just, it is maybe, should I say an appreciation? I appreciate her efforts. I was really touched by the way she's handling life, and she has touched different people's lives, and us has better mind. Those are the things we want. We want to touch more lives and to hear, to listen, to hear more voices from of different refugees, their challenges, and this will give us opportunity on how to hope, because every time you hear something new, you get the best way to hope. And such meetings and such meetings are really helping us to understand refugees better, for us who are not refugees. And I'm very happy for this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for your contribution. Let's hear it from Praise.
Thank you, Josephine, for sharing. To me, you are really a great hero, if I may say so. Your story was very inspiring and touching. When you spoke about stigmatization, and then you talk about the labor refugee, I'm just wondering what happened or what was happening when you try to define yourself once and once again every time people were stigmatizing you. Like, what tool did you use? Because you spoke about leadership and entrepreneurship, but in time of bouncing back, which tool did you use to overcome that? Thank you.
Samantha, can I come in, or
Question is yours.
you have another question? One thing that really I love most, that I realize God-given talent to me, one is the power of speaking. And I grew up in a church family, and my consolation always come in singing. Like whenever I was down, because imagine I was brought as a baby. The environment that I started seeing was a camp. And when I grew up at adolescent age and I started studying P7, this is when I was now stuck, because I was used to study in those 10 classes under the tree. Now I'm finishing P7 and I need to go to secondary school, and I couldn't now do it anymore. And every time that we go to the host community, people look different. We are always barefooted, our clothes are like rag, and we carry a book in polythene papers. I feel shy. I always feel very shy. But what always put me back is my voice. And wherever I go, got the kids around, I sing, I speak out. They are so welcoming to me. So what made me to break out, what really helped me to break out, was my voice. Wherever I want to turn down, I sing and I speak about it. And one thing what helped me is my mom. My mom worked with IMC and GVV for long. So every time she bring this card at home, we play. The card has a message. You are not just a refugee. you have a right. I have a right to play, right to education, right to speak. So I learned something from that. So I started asking mom, what is right to speak? And what is right to do this? So when she explained to me a little of it, then I said, I need to come out. I need to come out. So what helped me is to join the team, the school team. I started playing very well netball. I go to the regional level. After finishing my senior 4, I was also called by the host community. This is not now the support from the UNHCR. This is now the host community hosting me because of my talent. So when I realized now I have a talent to develop out there that can help me to study, I started speaking out. I come from a refugee camp. And when people ask me, I was now confident to say it out. And this boosts me a lot. And I started saying to people, speak out, do not keep quiet, do not just look at yourself like that, because others were harassed at school and they come to me because I speak now. I speak out and I speak to teachers and who were respected now, who were valued and who were protected every time and again. But what kept me moving and what kept me to break up, that ability of that confidence of saying I have to, because I cannot remain in this shell forever, and I have people who will listen to me if I speak. And one is my mom, who is now a paralegal. Thank you so much. I don't know if I really
Yeah,
Elizabeth
thank you.
given.
Thank you.
I think we've just realized that from her last word that parents play a big role in our life. And then always when parents are there, there's that type of support that we get when we have a parent. And I want to use that opportunity. I know I might be late, but it's not yet late. I know a parent in Congo, I don't know which other country, they're celebrating Parents' Day. I know it's a public holiday in Congo, and I want to wish you happy Parents' Day. Whoever is a parent already here, it doesn't mean that you should have a biological child, or as long as you have someone that to take care of, you play the parental role. I want to wish you a happy Parents' Day. Back to Josephine. What Josephine just shared with us, she said prayer helped her a lot. Guys, I don't want to say to sound more. I don't want to sound so spiritual, but I want to tell you something, that every time that you put your eyes on God, there's always there's always that help that you get. I'm not saying that you should stay home, remain home and wait for God to bring you manna from heaven. No, but most of the time in different challenges that you go through, we should always let God be number one there. Someone has shared in the chat room, and the person is saying, I can say the big problem is not just to be a refuge, but the problem is we shut down our talent and copy someone else. And the other problem is that we fail to follow our dream or mind, and we follow the failure. That's true. Many times when we are refugees, when we're having challenges, we usually think that that's the end of life, but that's not the end of life. Always have it in mind that whatever challenge that you receive, there is a better tomorrow for it. So it will never rain forever, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Tony, I don't know, I'm seeing your hand up. Is
Samantha, there is a hand of person up.
Yeah, so I'm asking, like, I'm seeing a hand up. Do you have something to share with us again?
No,
Yeah.
is it me? No, okay, all right. Anthony,
So,
yes.
yeah, so one thing I noted is your parent played a big role in motivating you to stand out, directly or indirectly. The games you played, the things you showed, helped you. But the challenge is there are some refugee children whose parents maybe don't have that. Maybe they're not exposed to such materials to maybe move to maybe motivate their children, or who even the parent care is somehow law, depending on someone's personality. And even there may be some refugees who are orphans and they're there in the camps. So that's where organizations and different bodies need to come out to help such children who need to be motivated, who need to be pushed. And I encourage everyone who is on this platform and who may get access to this content to help every refugee in any way. So because you never know, however small your hand can be, you never know how far that it can push that refugee. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Anthony. It's really true. One of the things that I also realized, and I also realized that amid these refugee children, people who are actors sometimes does not really see the need. They doesn't take it that these children are traumatized. These children are having a problem at home. They doesn't know. I tell you, the period that some of us were teaching, we could look more beyond. That is the reason why refugees also are coming with initiative of education, because they understand the route that they are coming out. You find that a child is going to school without a pen, and just a minor teacher just chase the child and does not even give an opportunity to this child to explain that I don't have because my parent cannot give. So this is the environment that we need the actors also to act with humanity, that every refugee child there sometimes has slept hungry at home, and he is or she is coming to school today without anything in their stomach. And also they cannot speak out because their voice, they have shy out. They don't want to hear. They don't want to speak out because they feel their parent can be harassed and their parent can be shouted at. Because sometimes the way we take GVV in the camp is also so much into not understanding. I think somebody there is getting me that some of the actors does not know how to handle refugee. I once worked as an intern, but the way they treat people, they took too much into professionalism, and also they don't see the humanity in us. This is the thing that the reason why we are speaking, that every person should speak up when you want to try to help any person, any refugee out there. You need to have the kind of a heart of humanity. You're not only treating this person, but this person also have a baggage that he's carrying. A student is in the class, he's thinking about the sibling that doesn't have food at home. A student, he is in the class, he's thinking about what am I going to eat. A student, he is in the class, but he's thinking about what is he really going to do exam, because he doesn't have even the school fees now. So you see that kind of life. So in every act, the actors that are within us, the host community, and as ourselves, we are saying that we should see each other as brothers keepers, as sisters keepers, that we have the eye to see more beyond their physical need. And we also see that they need something more, that we lift them. We come with initiative that empower them, that encourage them to come out of what they're going through. And this is my role, and this is your role. That's why some of us, I went to go through much into entrepreneurship and also into talent promotion, that many youth and many refugees youth there have ability, have dreams and have talent, but they are shy out. They should speak out. After publishing my book, I see many people, many poets, many good writers are coming to me. I said, Josephine, look at my work. I was like, this is excellent. This is excellent. You can do it. I didn't have much fund to publish my book, but when I speak out about my book, people came out to support so that they can print a book, so that the book can reach many and many, many people out there. Thank you so much, Anthony. Back to you, Samantha.
Tatiana, do you have something to say? The way
Yes.
yeah, like,
I was just gonna ask her, Josephine, you just said that you wrote a book, and I just want to know more about the book. Is it like about something that is related to your life, or is it like your experience, or just can you just walk us a little bit into your book and let us know what is the book about?
Samantha, can you send the screen to them? Because I shared with you the cover of the book. I wrote 2 books. One is Elevate Your Mind. It's more into the affirmative and the overcoming the shadow of life, living resilient life amid this life challenge. It is an inspiration book that have the first page, the first chapter of the book talking about my 26 years as a refugee and how I walked through that journey that everybody can walk through. And the other chapters talk about life, opportunity, compromise, in life, talking about the threats. What can you do as a person, not only as a refugee, as a person? We have dream, we have passion to do. And I talk about resilient, persistent, commitment, faith. It is all what the book is all about. It is all about inspiration and motivation to somebody there who is hopeless today. And if they can learn from the 26 years, the life experience, I have a refugee, and now I finished my university, and now I do what I want. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm also a board chair for many. I'm working with the Yero Foundation, which is the host community dealing with only orphans in northern Uganda. I'm also supporting the planning of Youth Tomorrow as a part of entrepreneurship with skill. I'm also part of the team of Bogema Legacy Inside. We talk about the talent writers, the table of authors. There are many people that did not have opportunity to speak to audience, but they have opportunity to write and motivate many others. They have knowledge and is skilled to speak out and also to do something very important. My second book, I'm talking about leadership now, and I'm talking about parenting. As we are talking, we find that the way we grow up is the way we literally grew and train. And this is diminishing. The Africa culture and identity is diminishing. We don't see it in us. We're living in the modern world, current world. We keep moving. As parents, we don't have to sit with our kids. And now when our children come back home, we start to question them. Why is he acting like that? But we didn't have time with them. We didn't ask them. We didn't interact with them. We didn't communicate. So this is the thing that I want to spread around the world. I may not speak to audience. I may not have opportunity to speak to many people, but my book at somebody home library can speak to a child, can speak to an adult, a youth, a parent, and a leader who can do better tomorrow. Thank you.
That is impressive. I mean, we always get that inspiration from what we have been through, like what you experience in your life. I'm sorry, guys. What you have been through in life, that's what motivates you to push other people, or to let them know what life is about, or how they can overcome some situation or some challenges. I'm really impressed with you, Josephine. I didn't know before, but um just the way you talk, I can feel your heart. I can feel that you're someone who has a lot of passion in you. And you want to spread that to the world so people can get to know how we can overcome some situation, especially the one with parenting. I can tell you that in Africa we don't have that sort of culture. I mean, parents don't care a lot about their children. It's all about, okay, giving birth, and get to feed you or get to give you some clothes, and the rest you just take care of yourself. But there is another thing that parents stigmatize their children is by being mean. There is no that such a relationship between parents and children that children can feel like you feel comfortable in front of your parents. That's something that we can try to develop in our family, in our family back home. We let the parents to know that if you give birth by love, why can't you give that love back when the children are growing? Because that's all they need. They just need that presence of the parents. Like, show me your love, show me that you're still there. I know that you're my parent, you're doing a lot of efforts, but sometimes trying to be sweet to me. Don't just be sour all the time. I mean, I'm just impressed of what you just said, Josephine. And I
Thank you.
hope that the book is speaking out, is giving out your voice, is giving it some point. Because we cannot always speak loudly, but from what we're doing, from the act, from the words that we're writing, that can be such a big voice of yours. And I hope that people are enjoying it and they're getting the point of the book. I would like to read the book as well. I don't know if you can.
Yeah. 113 copy has been shipped to the US,
Okay.
and some of the refugee community are having the hard copy. I will link somebody to you and your team
Okay.
to get a copy.
I'll be
Thank you.
more than welcome to read the book, and thank you.
All right, Tatiana.
Thank you so much. Today has been one of the most powerful journey or powerful series we've ever had or ever hosted here. I don't know if you all realize I even had to tear out because I wouldn't hold it. It was really hard for me, but I've learned a lot. As I said, it's not all of us went through the same thing. I was a refugee, currently a former refugee, but there are certain things that Josephine went through that I didn't face. Just a reminder that we're supposed to be always thankful to God for everything that you receive, and also put everything into consideration. When you see something, don't just say, "Oh my God, how will I go with this? How will I do with this?" But always take everything with consideration, and see also how best using your skill to help the community. You might be having skill, but you're still scared. You be like, I can't do this because how will I do it? I need fund. I need. Sometimes we don't need fund. Sometimes we just need to collect these people, teach them the skill, and the fund will come by itself. Or use yourself. You can be able to raise the little thing that you do. Better mind, we don't have fund, as I usually remind you, but it's by the love that we have. That's why we are raising numbers, and you guys are here. It's by the love that we are having that you are calling people like, okay, let's start this, let's teach people. And the only thing that you can do also is by sharing this content, by teaching people around you, telling them what things we are going through and how best we can help. These refugees are doing different things and they're helping their own community. I just want to remind you that you can always reach us on our Facebook page, that is Better Mind International Agency. On our YouTube, you can always reach us at Samantha Biake, and you can always reach me out using my cell phone number for those who have it. Yeah, but we also have a phone number on our Facebook page that you can always reach, and we'll be able to answer back your question. Or in case of you want to reach one of our guests, you can always reach out and we shall be able to reach you back. And also our Instagram still remain the same. I just want to say thank you to Josephine for everything that she has shared with us today. We are really empowered and we've learned a lot. And Josephine, just if you've been with us, our culture as Better Mind, we usually don't want to take advantage of your time. Or yeah, we know you're teaching us, you're doing it out of good heart and passion, but we always want to give back something. And what we do, we usually give back a token. This token is in form of beverages, and this is from Teresa's company. Last time she told us it's from Drew company, yeah. But the name is the marketing name is Therese beverages, and Therese has juice, she has yogurt, and she has wine. So allow us request you to choose one that we can offer you this evening. So there's juice, there is yogurt, and there is wine. So what would you love to receive from Better Mind this evening?
Okay, not to let you down. I'm currently cutting a lot of sugary things from my health diet, but currently I'm locked down outside northern Uganda for Aero Foundation. But I will be in Kampala and I will meet Therese. I'll take my juice. Don't worry about that. Thanks so much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. So Judith has it down, and Judith, you'll be passing juice to Josephine. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Just to remind you, I don't know if I told you about it. Just to remind you, we also have Bella who has things. So in case whoever we shall be hosting next time, I don't know if I told you, Josephine, but whoever we shall be hosting next time, we also have craft products that we usually offer to our guests. So these are necklaces, scarves, African made stuff. So we also have the craft that we also offer to our participants. In case, just let us know. This is the problem. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know what
I
happened.
think it's fixed now.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened.
Someone had some background and I think they just mute themselves. It's all good now.
I was scared. I was like, what happened? So guys, I was telling you that we have also Bella, and we have products that we offer. So I just want to say thank you for participating here and being here with us, being good listeners, and joining us and encouraging us. I want to say thank you. Till next time. Next Sunday, we have something special for you. Actually, August and September have something special for you. We are bringing on board refugee service providers are coming for August and September. So prepare your questions, prepare
I was
everything.
gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
I would like, Alex Mango, I don't know if he's here,
Alex.
but he had a lot of questions. So
Yeah.
this is a good opportunity for him to get to know the answers.
So next Sunday we are having, next Sunday, so August and September we are having refugee service providers. We are having UN, we are having UNHCR, we are having Window Trust. The list is long. Prepare your question. Prepare
And
your
also, I would recommend you guys speak out your mind, because this is the only opportunity that we get to have in this organization. If you have some issues, I will ask you just to bring the issue in the manner of polite, like being polite, so that they can understand that the issue is serious. We need to get the answer. We need to get the solution. It's not like it's not like we're gonna fight with them, but we're just gonna express our mind. We're just gonna be open to them and let them know how we feel, how we think things can work well if they do such a difference, maybe. So
Yeah.
it's a good opportunity for us, guys. Let's just take this opportunity and let's fix stuff, because there is a lot going on and we need a solution. And that's why we choose to have these people with us.
So guys, as Tatiana has told you, prepare your question. This is an opportunity for you. You have 2 months. So those are eight Sundays, I think so, Tatiana. 4 Sundays in August and 4 Sundays in September. So want you guys to prepare your question, and also because these guys are here, they're coming to hear from you, because there are things that go on, they're not aware of it, because probably they don't have that platform of hearing from people. Probably they don't have the platform to give you a voice. So this is a platform that you can use to ask them your question, and also tell them how best you can help to improve on the service that they give you. These are service providers. These are people who are there to help you. They can't help you without you being there. So guys, I'm going to take.
And also they cannot help you if you don't express yourself. That's why we have to ask all the questions that we think they haven't done for us. Let's bring those questions and see if they can be able to answer and help.
So we are going to take Richard has a question, then we'll be winding up. Richard, go ahead, and yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing with us. By name, I'm Richard Dushime Mdahera. I'm from Congo, and I'm a student here at Bugema University. Yeah, I heard about Josephine. She really struggled to get where she is now. And on my part, I'm studying technology. And I was somehow kind to look on how I can help my fellow refugees in the field of technology, computer. I would like to ask her, like, which kind of advice can she give her? Because I'm still starting up. I'm still thinking on how I'm going to come up in that way. Thank you.
Josephine, this message is yours.
Samantha, can I come up?
Yes.
Richard, I'm so happy that you are my OB at Bugema University, and I'm so happy to hear that. It is always very good for me if I hear about such initiative. We have Duffy Bugema University. You can come with a project proposal on what really you want to give back to student. You can start right away at Bugema University. I tell you, the refugee student who come from Congo, come from Somalia, come from South Sudan, who does not know how to use computer. You start right away within the group, the family, Duffy family. If you can do the word process, you can have the class with them every Sunday. You have a group, you study with them, you give them what you have, and you start teaching them. For me, I like a platform that can say ICT Refugees Initiative. Come with the name. It's better to come with the name of something, and after coming with the name of something, register with the school, that the school know officially that you're giving back to the community. And also, it is very good that you can also inform Window Trust about their initiative. They will be very happy to support you because you want to give back this to your fellow student. I tell you, by the time you will go out of Bugema University, you will not only be supporting the student at Bugema University, you are carrying out this project in the camp, whereby you can introduce to as a CBO within the community, because I know in every camp there is a youth center. You can use this project at a youth center. We have also youth computer lab. You can also write as a proposal to be instructor at those sides where you come from, because I know in Changwale we have where I learned, we pay for it. Imagine, these are services, projects that are given to refugee, but you still pay for it to study a package. So those are initiatives that some of our youth out there, they don't have opportunity. With your one laptop, you can teach many people. This is what P40 do. In our small office, we have 3 personal laptops. We sit in shift. We find that 1 hour we are teaching another group, the other hour we are teaching another group. 15 people. For 4 months or 6 months, they are done. They know how to use computer. They can be translated. They can type their answers. They can do data entry, small data entry. They can enter them. I just encourage you that come with a proposal, come with an initiative, and introduce to well-minded people that they can support you. 2 or 3 of you, start it. Start. Do not just keep there. If you are having a burning sacrifice that you want to give back, just start it. I have people that I can network with them. Legacy Inside have a student at Bugema University is Stephen Irato. He is the author of Street of Life and also Never Quit in the Pit. He is supporting many students at Bugama University on research and ICT challenges. You can network with people that I know there, and you start initiative that can help a refugee and also the host community as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's hear it from Judith as we wind up with today's session.
Thank you very much, Samantha. I'm going to be very brief. As we are bringing the service providers, it's not going to be a workplace. I humbly request you, let's be very, very humble. Even if you have a message you want to reach them, let's be very humble and respectful. Still, our message will reach and they'll get back to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
On the other hand, before I go off, Samantha, I would like to thank the Better Mind project that is going on. It's very, very good initiative and platform. I know that hand in hand, if we work hand in hand, we'll reach many, many, many voiceless, and we will really support many people that we have never expect the feedback. But really reaching us, talking to us, and also learning together. I'm telling you, we have different experience. You remember the first platform I was hearing from those of Simon. They have like 10 years. For me, I was a child. Throughout my journey, what I know is a calm life until I was exposed at my university when I was now out of camp studying my university. So as I plead with everyone in the platform, as we are meeting our service providers, we should not pinpoint hands. We really appreciate the host country. We appreciate the service providers, the UNHCR implementers and humanitarian actors. We really appreciate them. But what we know also, they also depend on donors and also depend on well-wishers that also give back to refugee. But there are other things that we know that they are supposed to give to us that we are not having accessibility to. We are going to ask them. As Judith said, we should really be polite and we should really be keen to learn, because there are other things that we just hear. We don't know where is our limit and where is the limit of providing the service to us. So it is a very good platform that we learn to them and they also hear our voice. For me, I'm so happy that I want even to be in the class the first time, the first person to be on Zoom that day, because I want to grab it. I want to have that information on my fingertip. And I want also I want to hear any bit of it so that we will know. They will learn from us and also we will learn from them, because some of them are, for me, for the rest of my year, I've never got opportunity even to talk to like these service providers, never. Maybe I talk to OPM. For me, going out, permission, going out of the camp, coming back in the camp. But beyond that, I've never had accessibility. This is going to be a lifetime for me. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity today. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you so much, Tatiana. Thank you, Judith. And thanks the platform. God bless you all. I'm so happy to learn today as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, Josephine.
Thank you so much for everything, every support that we're continuing giving to Better Mind. We will never get a word to appreciate you guys because we don't have that word, but we are sending prayers and thoughts to you all. Being a refugee, former refugee, current refugee, service provider, in your different capability and capacities, I know people are joining us from all the way in the world. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Remember to join us Sunday, same time. I'll continue sending the link and the pictures, everything. I'm just going to continue with everything that I'm doing. And I just want to say, till next time, bye-bye. We have here, those who have personal questions, we have 5 minutes here. You can ask us questions, but the rest, thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.